were called giants of Africa because we were doing things in a way that were ahead of other people. Our economy was blooming. Today, our economy is going down every day because of wrong economic and political policies.
Okay, you just said, so are those policies new? You just mentioned the fact that our economy was booming because we're doing things that was taking us out there and improving our economy. So what exactly changed? The policies you're talking about.
And we say we have our own policy, and we want to ensure that we keep aside the other policies and enact our own policies because we are now in government, and we want to test run what we felt is going to benefit everybody. We test run it, and when we see that it is actually failing, nothing stops. Just say, oh, we draw this policy, reinstate the former one that was there. This is how we are going to do things until we get a better way of doing things. At least with this way, things are better.
Okay, so let's go back to agriculture now, because that's one thing that a lot of people keep mentioning when we talk about strengthening the Naira.
Yes.
You asked the question, are they trained? The people who are willing, the youths that we have, are they really trained?
Yes.
So what do you suggest should be done at that point?
Business that are yet to be invested. So now, what we are saying is this. Train these people to have the requisite knowledge of what is demanded of them, okay, so that when they produce, there are products that ordinarily before you can plant yam, and yam grows after some months. It's in 8 or 9 months before you begin to talk about harvesting it. Today, there are products that there are new farming.
It's easier and faster.
Easier and faster.
We have students who have chosen agriculture as a course. We have students who have chosen agriculture because you said find out if these people are willing, right? We have institutions
I wouldn't want you to go there.
And now you mentioned giving them the requisite knowledge. Are they not giving the requisite knowledge? Don't we have students who graduate from these universities?
Like I said, I wouldn't want us to go there. What is the curriculum that our universities today are using? Of recent, Lagos State University came out with a program. They said, look, if you want to, many universities in this country have that. Our universities have entrepreneurship programs, but they are just makeshift programs. You know, so what we are saying is this.
Chief Luckyman, did you actually get what I said? In these are universities. We have these courses, don't we?
We do.
We have agricultural courses. And you mentioned taking Nigerians who are willing and training them to have the requisite knowledge. So what are they doing in these universities, in these departments, agricultural departments?
I responded to this question. Let me make it clearer for you,
okay,
please.
Go on, please.
What I'm saying is, we have, for instance, a Nigerian university has an agricultural department, and they have 500 students there. These students have decided that agriculture is our thing. We want to study agriculture because we want to become farmers or consultants in agriculture or this or that in agriculture. Agricultural field is very, very fast. Now, they graduate and come out without tilling the soil for one day.
So they don't have practical sessions while in
school?
Without
practical experience, without the much needed practical experience. You know, there is what they call appreciation courses, and there is the core course itself. So when you just show me, take me through the appreciation stage, the introduction phase of a thing, and at the end of the day I come out and I say I'm a graduate, you give me a certificate at BSc. And I'm going to say, yes, I'm an agricultural scientist. When I don't have the requisite knowledge, I don't know what is obtainable today in terms of agriculture globally, what is the most recent technology, what are the machineries that are being used, what are, you know, it's something who go and do their practicals and everything, which means you have the machineries, they have either seedlings or whatever they call it, different things, because agriculture is very, very vast. In every sector of agriculture, they need to have an updated facilities for them to be able to train these students. But our Nigerian system today is something else. So all I'm saying is...
So another thing is them coming out, like graduating now, and then just roaming, you know, not really having these opportunities to explore and to carry out what they have learned in school.
Yes, and that is the more reason why when you see a graduate from the university, and he wants to apply for a job, most of these companies will tell you 3 years, minimum 3 years experience, 5 years experience.
5 years experience.
Where is he going to get that experience? If he
in
had had that
school.
experience while in the university, where these facilities are,
Yeah.
and he's doing it, now graduating, the companies know that this young man has had experience. Because whatever he learns there forms part of the experience that he's coming out with. So what you're doing in your company is not different from what he has been doing while in school. So he's just coming in. The moment he gets there, all you need to do is take him through a mini course, a seminar, introduce him to the culture of the organization, whatever you put, do your things there and everything, and he fits in immediately. He begins to work because he have that technical experience, the requisite knowledge when it comes to specialization. But now, our graduates that the universities are producing are flows to go for IT and other things. Without hitch, these companies are supposed to pick you, begin to train you, get you certified in one or two other areas. You know, by the time you graduate and become a certified a BSc holder in an engineering field, petrochemical engineering, the geology, or that thing, you have acquired knowledge.
I don't want to even go.
No, these are the questions that we need to ask. Oh, I did agriculture. I was a labor prefect while in secondary school. And to hold town halls, hall meetings. We want to train you in agriculture. Don't worry, we'll create the avenue for you. Now you train them with what is obtainable. Give them the requisite knowledge. Impart in them the requisite knowledge that is obtainable as of today. The world is we are producing these things at commercial rate, quantity, because we have the machinery, we have the manpower, the technical know-how. We now have it because we have trained our youths on that. The machineries are there. These people are being paid by the government. They work for the government. So because they work, if you're buying Gary in Enugu, maybe 15,000 naira per basin, because we produce it here, we sell our Gary, sir. Gary na 4,000 naira they sell here. Everybody in Enugu want to come to River State to go and buy Gary, isn't it? We are selling 4,000 naira. We are selling more. We are making more profits. We are producing it.
Insecurity. Let's issued a 2-week ultimatum to the government to reconstitute the governing councils of public universities. Addressing Acting Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission, NUC Chris Mayaki, said that the federal government was working to inaugurate it once the lease was consummated. And on the initiatives to boost the nation's university system, he said the NUC had identified strategic priorities that encompass curriculum development the number of times that also have got provisions or the reason. Let's get
things that they have been clamoring for quite some time. See, the government need to, it's not everything you politicize in this country. In constituting the governing board or councils of universities in this country, public universities, the government need to look at academicians, those who have made education their business. Put these people in place, because when they are there, these are people that update themselves on daily basis. You know, the moment you become a PhD student and you're going into research, there's supposed to be a particular sum, a funding that the government needs to make available for you. The moment you have written your research proposal and everything, so this is the area I want to make my research on.
Yes.
The government, there's supposed to be a funding available for you to kickstart that research. But we all know it's not so where I say I want to solve this problem. This is where my research has been based on. And you see that particular PhD student carrying all the burden on his head, on his own, and he's doing everything. There is no funding. And we are also monitoring you in whatever you are doing. Now that you have done this, we want you to come in, and because you are the one. Like they used to say, I'm sorry, I'm going to give you another proverb.
As long as you
at the aim of affairs, kickstart it, so that others can stand behind you and learn from the processes that you have gone through, so that you can now impart others with this same knowledge, and it becomes something that everyone can benefit from. But here in Nigeria, like I said before, who is probably an SA is earning close to 5 million or 3 million or this or that, because it's a political appointment. At the end of the day, you say it's not a pensionable job, so you calculate whatever is going to leave it for the whole of his life and begin to divide and to pay him each sums amount of money, while that person's level of education is way below and it's not impacting lives. It's just an essay.
So do you feel that ASU is asking for their pocket because they are not well paid?
No,
is that what you're saying?
I am not saying ASU is asking for their pocket.
Oh.
You don't put to practice even in your work, in your place of work. All they need is just that paper. Do you have this paper? Yes. When you get to your working environment, what you see there is entirely different. You begin to learn and implement new strategies and other things entirely. So, why not our institutions become institutions that will go beyond teaching just theories
and go into practicals? Now, back to the question I was asking earlier. You have agreed that these in-season strikes has actually affected our educational system in a very huge way, and the students also of these universities, right? So, are there not other ways? Do you believe that there are other ways that these matters could be solved, other than always going on strike and having these children go back home? And there are ripple effects to this thing.
Okay. There are other ways. And the other ways is, one, allow these universities run themselves. Monitor them closely, ensure that whatever they are making, they are paying back to the center.
All right.
Let me tell you something.
Okay, go on.
It's a vast distance.
Children's Day Celebration 2024.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human
on the point of order.
Honorable
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on The Fact Today, only on ATN.
Welcome back. The House of Representatives has mandated its Committee on Commerce to investigate the daily increase in prices of commodity in the country. This followed the adoption of a motion by Justice Onoaka Lucy, PDP Delta, on the need to awaken Price Control Board of Nigeria to its constitutional responsibilities at plenary on Thursday. Presenting the motion, he said that the Price Control Board had abandoned its responsibility of controlling commodity prices to the marketers at the detriment of the consumers. He said that the take-home pay of workers had yet to be increased, but the country is witnessing daily increase in prices of commodity. The responsibility of the Price Control Board is to regulate the prices of all commodities in Nigeria. And that's what he said, that the practice of increasing prices of commodities by marketers was affecting the low-income earners who could resort to other means or even steal. Adopting the motion, the House mandated the Committee on Commerce to investigate the daily increase in prices of commodities in the country and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. I feel like I can hear Nigerians saying it's right about that time this discussion is made. Look, come on, you go to a superstore to buy a particular product today, it's this price, and then you go back there tomorrow, it looks like, it begs the question, what happened between yesterday and today? Sometimes they tell you, oh, did you hear about the dollar? Sometimes they'll tell you, oh, haven't you heard about this administration? Oh, fuel is up there right now. And all of these factors are usually mentioned by these people. But now the reps coming in to say, hey, we're going to do this. So even though they have stated that more actions will be taken after the investigation, tell us what you think about this story.
Just 2 days ago.
Like an exaggeration, quite an exaggeration.
No, it's not quite an exaggeration. No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Went back and the fuel price has been changed to 850 naira.
The same fuel station?
Yes, the same filling station.
Wow. What was their reason? Did you take out time to ask what happened?
I don't know what their reason will be. Probably they saw that other stations were selling at 840, 850, 880. So they felt that they were losing money. Yes, so they had to change the prices. And you know what? Nigerians were still crowded buying fuel. Country that you buy the least garri that we produce here in Nigeria, and the next day you go there to buy garri, they tell you
more expensive.
Yes, and they tell you the dollar. We are all making reference to the dollar. Of course, in one way or the other, we can't shy away from it because the average of goods keep, and the government is still injecting more money into the system. Because they feel that by injecting more money, they are trying to control certain things. So inflation is on the rise. When there is excess money in the system, price of goods and services will increase. It's normal this thing in mathematics that everybody knows. So I am the director of the Price Control Board, and I'll come to your shop and I'll tell you, look, yesterday you sold garri at 15,000 naira. Why are you selling it at 25,000 naira now? Reduce it.
Having in mind that I had to pay more for transportation,
no,
I have to pay more for labor and all of those things, it will definitely affect the price of the product.
Yes, you just ask me, sir, on your way down, how much did you pay for transport? How much did you buy fuel? Oh, I bought fuel, I bought fuel. So they know. So before they begin to cry foul as if things are going wrong when things and productions need to come down first, the cost of production needs to drop first. So when the cost of production drops, you need to look at pricing again. So, oh, come, yesterday you were buying this at this rate. We have reduced it. We have at least up to 60% is off, or 70% is off. So why is your price still high? Cut your price down. Then Nigerians come in to say, okay, you're doing the right thing. In fact, when that happens, Nigerians will naturally force the prices to come down.
Again, we have this thing of not reducing prices, even when it looks like things are changing. We leave the price up there. We never take it down. Once it gets up there, it never comes down.
That is that is where the function of the price control board comes in. Now, when there was an increase due to one or two factors, and at the end of the day, those issues have been addressed, we expect the prices to come down and even go down far more than it was before. So when those prices are not coming down, the price control board can kick in and say, hey, this was the situation before, today this is it. Now, it's either you bring down your prices or we close down your shops. And they have to start doing that, not by handling the normal retailer, but from the source, from the source where they are getting their products from.
Yes.
Move down there, ask questions. Why are you people still selling these things at exorbitant rate to these people? This is your cost of production now. Yesterday it was like this, today it's like this. So the price control board have a lot of work to do. It means they are not actually, they don't have that relationship with the producers of different products in this country. It's a whole lot. So if Nigerians are serious and they really want to work, they get the best hands on board, and people will do the job for them, and things will come back to
Would really love to find out what the result of that investigation would be, to find out why. All right, we'll follow up that story as we're updated. The House of Representatives has called on the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Office of National Security Advisor to carry out further enlightenment on the Cyber Crimes Act and implementation of the 0.05% levy, and correct the wrong impression that the levy is to be charged on individuals. The resolution of the House was sequel to a motion of urgent public importance brought on the floor of the House by the Minority Leader of the House, Kingsley Chinda, and 7 others on the urgent need to correct the wrong perception of the House of Representatives' position on implementation of the Cyber Crimes Act at Tuesday's plenary. A lot of Nigerians do not really understand this, but let's look at sensitization in general. And then your thoughts on this.
Well, sensitization has been a major problem in this country. The National Orientation Agency has failed in its assignment majorly. People do not get the requisite information that they are supposed to get. People do not know what is actually happening. There is multiple taxation going on in various sectors in this country. You see, you cannot tell us to begin to talk about cyber crime charges or levy. You're telling me to pay for cyber crime what I can get from Nigerians.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you actually feel, that the government's trying to rake in money from Nigerians?
Yes, of course.
Why would you say that?
The government of the day is, with all honesty, exploiting Nigerians. If this thing goes through, it's exploitative in nature. Let me tell you something. You don't place nothing on something. So you can't place something on nothing. You know, before you charge me for something, you must prove to me that you are actually doing this. You can't just see me walking around and say, hey, lucky man, come here. You have to pay this amount.
But if it's for security, is it not?
What kind of security? What kind of we have security issues that we are undergoing, that Nigerians are facing in this country. Boko Haram is doing a lot of damage on daily basis. There are bandits kidnapping people in various. Have you had the issue? The story of Conference University in Kogi State. We have security issues that we expect this government to handle immediately.
Concerning that particular situation, which is one of the stories we're going to take actually, because some of the students have been released. But let's come back to this now.
So 0.05
for every which they said sensitize Nigerians more so that Nigerians can understand these things better. But trace it back to the reason. And let's not also forget that this was not just brought out of the blues. It's already in the law. It's an act, all right, which they're only trying to implement. We've been complaining they're not implementing our laws, and now this is about to be implemented.
Yes, if it's a law that's about to be implemented, that law needs to be reviewed.
Okay.
It needs to be reviewed considering the present state of the economy in Nigeria. Talks about the monies that we keep in our various accounts. So if I am paying my bank for charges that they are, for services that they are rendering to me as in way of charges, I expect the government to have a particular percentage of that money that I am paying to my banks, which means in every transaction I do, where the bank charges me 10 naira or 65 naira or 50 something naira or thereabout, I expect the government to have at least minimum of 30%. Now we are charging you 15 naira. Nigerians will not complain that much.
So it should have just been done quietly without informing
yes,
the people that their monies will be deducted?
Yes, then when you begin to tell me that when I transfer 150,000 naira, I'll be paying so percentage, and I look at the money and say, wow.
Okay, so you're suggesting that when things like this need to be done, they should just do it quietly with the bank without informing Nigerians about what is about to happen with their monies?
Yes, there is a better approach that in fact, if this law is actually there and CBN has not been implementing it, or they have been implementing it in a different way, and now they want to change the strategy of implementation, it's something that Nigerians need to ask a lot of questions.
Component of police security apparatus made up of helicopter crews specially trained for air surveillance. You know, I'm taking my time to read this for you, Lucky Man, because you made mention of this story and you said that you don't feel like enough have been done. Now, this is them telling us exactly what has been done since that. The deployment was in furtherance of the ongoing rescue operation and to sustain the onslaught of the suspected bandits that adopted yet to be ascertained number of students of the Confluence University Costec last week, Thursday. And now we had reports the last time that some of the students have been released, even though the number wasn't told us. And now we have reports again that other students have also been released. Yes, what do you have to say now? Do you still have the same stand with your previous statement on this story?
Yes, of course.
Tell us why. Because this is them explaining to us.
We still have some of the Chibok girls that were kidnapped still in the hands of these so-called bandits or terrorists or whatever they call themselves. We've had